Because of TikTok, I want to talk about a per hour rate. So how do you determine what to charge for your time per hour? And I'm going to try and work this out in a sort of vaguely scientific method. This cake down below, it's a cake I did a few years ago. I don't know how much I actually charged the woman that bought it, but based on my current sort of costings, I would probably quote about 600 Rand for this cake. Maybe a bit less, but let's just keep it at 600 because it's a nice round number. And I'm trying to do this more for educational purposes, so just roll with me here. So if you use my normal costing method, you would take your ingredients, times it by 3, and add on a bit additional for complex decorations like the lion. So by that rationale, I would subtract about 150 for the ingredients for this cake. That's how I got to the number 600. So I times 150 by 3, got to 450, and I added 150 for the decorations. That's why I say I think it's probably a little bit high for what's actually on here, but it makes a nice round number. So if I subtract the cost of the ingredients, that leaves me with 450 Rand for my overheads and my profit. In that case, the overheads would be 150, so I subtract that and I get a round number of 300. The time that it took me, I don't recall exactly, but let's work on the idea that the baking took about an hour and the decorating probably took about 1 to 2 hours. So obviously I probably baked more than this single cake on that day. So when I say it took me an hour, it's a kind of a guesstimate because I probably wasn't baking for that full hour. But I also did have time for, I looked for ideas and spent some time chatting to the customer to determine exactly what that was. That probably all totaled about an hour, and obviously shopping and that sort of thing. So I'm going to say kind of round it down to 3 hours in total. As I say, I'm kind of working on the side of caution here. The good news is that means that my time was worth about 100 Rand an hour. The minimum wage in South Africa is 23 Rand and 19 cents per hour, so about 4 times the minimum wage. But the going rate per hour for a plumber is about 550 Rand per hour, 567 Rand per hour. So 1/5 or less than 1/5 of a plumber's time. And I actually looked up, just for the sake of comparison, the cost of a lawyer. A lawyer will cost you about 2,000 Rand an hour. And also a person who is experienced might be able to achieve more in an hour than someone who's a beginner. So they may end up spending more time on the same cake. So there you go. Do you think your cake decorator is worth 100 Rand an hour?